Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So today Matchroom Boxing announced their schedule for the first part of 2021. And I have to say there are several fights on this schedule that do pique my interest. I have to say, in the past 12, 18 months, maybe 24 months, I've actually been quite critical of the product that Matchroom Boxing have put forth on regular Sky Sports in the UK. But this schedule to me marks an improvement on quality. Is it perfect? No, but I've seen a lot worse, and to me, it's a step in the right direction. One fight in particular that I am quite interested in is Conor Benn versus Samuel Vargas. Of course, Conor Benn coming off a career best win over Sebastian Formela. He performed really well that night against a guy who had a lot more experience at a higher level. Conor Benn actually surprised me quite a lot in that fight, and quite frankly, he surprised me in general. When I saw Conor Benn turn pro back in 2015, 2016, whenever it was, I've got to be honest, he looked like a raw novice. He looked absolutely useless. But in this time period, from his pro debut to now, Conor Benn's come on a long way. Is this guy going to be a world champion? I still think that is very doubtful. But Conor Benn, to me, is already a better fighter than I envisaged. So Conor Benn has made a lot of progress since his pro debut. And, you know, I actually quite like this fight against Samuel Vargas at this stage of his career. Samuel Vargas, in my opinion, is another step up. He's going to pose different problems than Sebastian Formela. Sebastian Formela was more of an orthodox boxer, good high guard, good long punches. He was kind of that stereotypical German boxer, done all of the basics well, but he really wasn't that dynamic and never really carried any punching power. Samuel Vargas is a different fighter to that. He's rough, he's rugged, he's durable, and he actually carries some power, and he'll try and make the fight with Conor Benn. Conor Benn himself is naturally a fairly aggressive fighter, although he is boxing a lot more these days. Naturally, Conor Benn is aggressive, so potentially Samuel Vargas could draw Conor Benn into a bit of a tear-up, and I think this fight could be a real fan-friendly affair on regular Sky Sports. You know, Samuel Vargas, I'm not painting this guy out to be something he's not. He is what he is. He's a gatekeeper who's relatively durable, he carries a bit of pop, and he's very aggressive, and he's very experienced. You know, at the highest level, Samuel Vargas tends to come up short. For example, he got stopped by Virgil Ortiz Jr. in 7 rounds, but gave it a good go. He lost to Louis Collazo on a split decision. He lost to Amir Khan by a unanimous decision, but actually dropped Amir Khan in that fight. You know, he got knocked out by Danny Garcia in 5 rounds. He also got stopped by Errol Spence Jr. in 4 rounds. But when you watch all of these fights, he will actually get his own shots off. He will land a few shots of his own. He'll try and fight fire with fire. You know, Samuel Vargas is a stereotypical South American fighter. Machismo, heart, balls, and he'll come to fight. And, you know, against Conor Benn, I think that could make for a fan-friendly affair. So, all in all, I think this is a good test for Conor Benn at this stage of his career. The only real criticism I've got with this fight is the fact that it's a 10-rounder. I want to see Conor Benn in a 12-rounder, particularly when the WBA Continental title is on the line. This is a official title fight by the WBA, so I would have liked to have seen this fight be a 12-rounder. That's the only criticism I've got for this fight. Only reason for saying that, in the Sebastian Formela fight, towards the end of that fight, Conor Benn was clearly starting to tire, so I would like to see this guy in a 12-rounder, particularly against a guy like Samuel Vargas, who could draw you into a real hard fight. But yeah, all in all, I think this is a pretty good test for Conor Benn right now. I think he's being matched quite well at this stage. Sebastian Formela was brilliant matchmaking, and, you know, Samuel Vargas right now is another step in the right direction. So I'm intrigued about this fight. I'm intrigued to see it just from a entertainment perspective, but also to see how Conor Benn looks. Like I said, Conor Benn is a guy in which I've been wrong about from day one, as have a lot of people. When this guy turned pro, there were people out there saying this guy couldn't even win a belt at area level. He looked that bad when he turned pro, but to his credit, he's knuckled down, he's worked hard, and he's improved a lot as a fighter. And for better or worse, one thing I can guarantee about Conor Benn, I think he's going to be certainly entertaining to follow, no matter how far he gets, you know? So there we go. Relatively interesting fight for Conor Benn at this stage, but I want your thoughts. Share your thoughts below. Do you believe Samuel Vargas is more of a threat than Sebastian Formela? Or do you believe Conor Benn will do a similar job on Vargas in which he did to Formela? Share your thoughts below. Me personally, I actually think this could be more risky than Formela, just because Vargas has more respectable punching power. Anyway, share your thoughts below. It's been your guy Delboy. Peace.